don't suppose any of us like change. I know generally speaking I don't. But then with this lockdown thing, I found I didn't really mind it in the case of shopping. Supermarket shopping, that is. At least I had a perfect excuse. I was certainly old enough to be in the vulnerable section of society. Plus my arthritic knee was playing up. I had a bit of toothache and my hearing aid battery needed replacing. So it was a case of, sorry love, can't just nip out for your baked beans and washing up liquid now. But then these youngsters started offering to do your shopping for you. Even my own daughter. Now for once I didn't mind filling in a shopping list. Whereas before I could always find an excuse to put it off. Like I did as a lad with my school homework. In fact, strangely enough, I found I almost enjoyed it. I was adding things I might have hesitated to before. Like those fancy breakfast biscuits. Danish I think they are. Always a faff to find. And a double ration of potatoes, since I won't be the one to have to carry them. I was getting carried away a bit, I must admit. And my daughter kept saying, Dad, you don't really need all that lot. My friend's only doing a top up this trip. Anyway, things seemed all set fair. Sit back, old lad. Let the others do all the work and all that. But then it came to putting all the shopping items away after they'd been delivered. And oh dear, I suddenly started noticing things. What's that? Oh no, not low-fat yoghurt. Layered, full fat is what I like. No belly taste in that thin stuff. Just because it's a nice shade of pink with a soggy strawberry drowning in it, they call it a fruit yoghurt. Green top milk, Struth, I have Jersey milk. Or at least silver top. Green top, it's an insult to cows. Even in the war, I was, oh baby, you know, we got proper milk. Green top, I ask you, won't touch it. Star Trek milk, as Mr. Spock says, it's milk, Jim, but not as we know it. Actually, I call it cowpea. My wife doesn't half tell me, often I do. And there's bananas. First lot were all soft and squashy. Oh, what a mushy mess. Just reminded me of trying to feed the kids when they were little. I tactfully suggested, could they please choose more green ones next time? Next time we got green ones, all right. I had to leave them over a week before we could eat the blooming things. Oh, don't mention toilet rolls. Extra fine, soft tissue. Flipping heck, you needed about 15 sheets before they were fit for purpose. It seemed the daughter's friend's husband did that particular shopping run. Well, that's another fella needing more drastic domestic training, evidently. Bread too turned out a big disappointment. Call that bread? That's bally blanche, soft cotton wool. Put that in your toaster and it's up in smoke in no time. Hey, how come the smell of burnt toast lasts all day? More telling off from my beloved. Anyway, back to the so-called bread. Now in the war... Oh, don't get me started. And yes, it is a long time ago. Do you know, I used to get a farthing change from our village bakery. So admittedly, I suppose it is a good while back. We'd ask for some meat to put on our sandwiches. You know what I mean? Sliced chicken, corned beef, ham or roast beef. When it came, it turned out to be corned beef. Fine, I love it, always have. But in the packet, there were about 50 odd slices and they were so thin. Now in the war, of course, you got your corned beef or spam in tins. So you could slice your own, nice and thick enough, so that you could taste what it was. Especially when on Mum's freshly baked barm cakes. Butter was always a bit sparse, but there was a war on. And then there were sweets, as in puddings. Who wants sickly, cream-laid and fluffy cold stuff? I meant a good steamed pud like jam roly-poly, sweet as spotted dick. Something you can slap some custard on, for goodness sake. I mean, they could have at least brought me some nice rice pudding. I know it's supposed to be summer, but it's cold and raining right now. Heavens above, how the flipping trifle can warm you up. I don't know. I have raised my concerns with my daughter, who just said, Dad, you're worse than Victor Meldrew. Who's he when he's at home? I asked. He's a character on telly, she replied. Well, the only Victor I knew from the telly was Victor Sylvester, with his dance orchestra. Not that I'm a fan of ballroom dancing, far from it. Won't get me watching that. Be worse than watching Strictly Come Baking or sewing, whatever they call that my wife watches. Don't get me going on shopping online either with home delivery. First time we got a slot, we ended up with half a sack of spuds. I know I'm a champion potato peeler. My mum trained me in the war. Part of my little war effort. Little? I was washing up with my sister and always arguing whose turn it was to wash the pots or dry them. Polishing shoes, chopping wood, choosing some small pieces of coal for me grandma who lived with us so she could light a fire with it. And keeping an eye open for cobs of coal on the railway embankment, the back of our garden, that had fallen off the passing steam trains. I also had to make my bed every day. Hardly any time to play with my Meccano. Anyway, back to those spuds. I just don't know my kilograms from my pounds, do I? We now need to buy half a ton of best mincemeat and mass-produced cottage pie. I knew we could maybe sell the surplus online. Best homemade produce. Like comedian Jimmy Cricket says, there's more. And I could go on. My wife and daughter say I do. And on, and on. Well, I ask you, do you blame me? An old fella does get stuck in his ways, certainly in the food department. So you don't want all these changes, do you? Can't upset the system. Certainly upset mine. I don't know. I just don't know where it'll all end, or when it will. Love, when did they say we can go supermarket shopping again? Oh, what? Good. But I have to wear a mask? Oh, that's all right. Don't need to have a shave then. Shopping list, ta-da! Here we come.